What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Monday, February 3rd, 2025. I'm standing here at the Polderbaan, and you have to believe me when I say so, because you cannot recognize it as such. I woke up with blue sky and it became foggy and more foggy and more foggy and more foggy. I've heard 3 go-arounds during the time I was setting up. I did not see them. The pipes traversing the runway are over there, and I'm standing at the same location as I was standing at yesterday. So you want to know why the go-rounds were absolutely near zero visibility? I don't know how this happened, because normally you wake up with fog and it gradually becomes less as the day progresses, but it seems to be opposite day to day. Woke up with blue skies. This is looking towards the parking lot. You can see the vague contours of the Boulderbos forest, the trees normally over there. Yeah, so this is the world right now over here. Freezing fog, below zero. Meter is not up to date at all, even though I pasted the latest meter in the ticker. DJI gone. Let's see. What happened? Something. Right, let's see. How about now? All right. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Is the mic working? Can you hear me again? Is the voiceover working? Can you guys confirm that the voiceover is working and also that the ambient is working? Okay. I was testing to see if I could also use a USB cable between my switcher and my laptop, and the answer is no. It did work at home yesterday, but it seems I will have to replace another cable then. But that's okay, I know I have my answer. If all is well, you should be hearing me again loud and clear. I was testing a different cable, and the answer is the cable I thought might work didn't work. As I was saying, I woke up with blue skies, and then it became foggy and more foggy and more foggy. The go-arounds that you saw on flight radar were because of low visibility. I heard them, I didn't see them. There were 3 in total. I'm hoping that the mist is going to clear up again. Normally speaking, you wake up with fog, and as the day progresses, things get better. If I look up, I can see blue. So I'm thinking the layer of fog is not very dense. You can also see that parallel arrivals are in progress. Finnair is coming into center. I think it has to do with the go-rounds. Right, everybody is hearing me loud and clear. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It's Monday and it's foggy. I didn't know we were going to have this dense fog, but apparently we do. Singapore 747 going to center, Marissa says. That's bad news. Vueling should be coming in next. Flight 8354, A320 Neo arriving from Bilbao. Now, the entire quad squad is on the way. I was starting early today because I was hoping we could catch the Singapore Airlines arriving from Nairobi. Unfortunately, it didn't get our runway assigned. So apparently parallel arrivals now in progress. Sounds like another go around. I think Vueling is going around. Or is it? No, wait. I think I can still hear it. Yeah, they're not going around yet. Sounds like something is coming. Where the F are they? I thought I heard them. Oh wait, yeah. Here is Vueling. Holy shizzle. There you go, folks. I'm hoping for improvement over the upcoming hours. Wind is picking up a little bit. And that's Vueling. So yeah, current status quo. The forest is over there. The fields are over there. Looking up, you can see blue, but on ground level, hardly anything to see. I woke up with blue sky this morning, so I thought it's going to be a nice day to stream like yesterday was, but it's not meant to be thus far. Next up is going to be Delta Airlines Flight 142 arriving from Seattle, Washington. It's an A330-900. Ordinarily, we should have been able to see it quite well. Brand new A330 Neo coming in. Insane, insane, insane. Right. Sounds like Delta is landing. Other land conditions today. For those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live from Schiphol Airport. You better believe me when I say so, because you cannot recognize it as such. I woke up this morning with blue skies and then it became foggy and ever more foggy. It's not very dense fog. If I point the camera up, you can see the blue of the sky, so I'm hoping for improvement very soon. We're awaiting the entire quad squad today. That is 747s, the A380 and the A340. Maria's son is also coming back home from Bonaire on the A350 from Corendon, which I hope we will be able to see better than this Delta A330 Neo. Delta Airlines Type 142. Ronald asks, where in the meter can we read fog? The meter is outdated and is running behind schedule. I updated it when it was completely densely fogged over here already, and it was still indicating decent visibility. Well, you tell me. This is the Bilderbush forest near the parking lot. It's hard to even recognize the beginning of the cycling path, and those pipe constructions over the roundabout you can hardly see. Donald and Daisy are also fleeing the country. They're saying, screw you Dutchies, we're going where the weather is better, and rightly so. Vueling flight 8300 coming in next. This is a hybrid livery between Vueling and what was that other? Ooh. Flyby. Where? Yeah. Awesome. Effing awesome. Alrighty. Next up should be Vueling, like I was saying. "17-year-old airplane, first flight May 2007. Oh. All the birds are saying, screw you Dutchies, screw you Schiphol. The weather here sucks. Singapore 747. What I had hoped was going to be the first Quad Squad member of today's show. Unfortunately going to center. Vueling flight 8300 arriving from Barcelona. Sounds like it has landed. And level indeed, Stevie. Good morning, one and all. If you joined us just now, you're thinking, is this live? Yes, it is. It's Monday. I woke up with blue skies and then it became foggy and more foggy and more foggy. Quite the opposite of what you normally expect. You wake up with fog and things clear up. Today, the opposite exactly happened. Looking up, you can see blue skies, so I'm hoping the sun is going to burn away the fog rapidly so that we can enjoy the rest of the Quad Squad. Our next Quad Squad member coming in should be an A340-600. Let's have a quick look. So, at the moment coming in, well, Singapore already landed, unfortunately. SLM arriving around 10:36. Saudia is coming in around 10:40. Cargolux is coming in 10:54. It had an ETA earlier of after 11 o'clock, so it's making up time now. Ordinarily in the time slot of one arrival runway. 10:52, the ETA of Emirates. Yeah, we'll have to see how things are going to progress. Let's see what the METAR... Yeah, this is what the METAR says from 18 minutes ago. Low IFR conditions, freezing fog, 0 degrees, visibility 2.9 kilometers. Well, that's less. 200 feet ceiling. All of a sudden, things have worsened quite substantially. Let's have a quick look. Have a look on the satellite. Oh. No. Go back. Have a look at the satellite. What does it look like? So yeah, as you can see here in the west, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of fog, just a little bit of high clouds, but here around Schiphol it does look like there's a little veil of fog. I think that's what we are seeing right now. I'm hoping it is going to burn away pretty soon. Let me update the ticker for the time being with the METAR from 18 or so minutes ago. So yeah, fingers crossed that SLM is going to come to the Polderaan. Morning, Alan, and thank you for your congratulations. Our next airplane Coming in lot flight 265. Regular Embraer 195. And because of the low visual conditions and the required separation, spatial separation, increased spatial separation required, parallel arrivals now in progress. That's bad news for us, because that means we are going to see less airplanes, and the ones that we see we can hardly see. Only the strobes visible. Now again, looking up, you can see blue. Wouldn't be surprised if a fat contrail would pass immediately overhead. I would be able to see it. It's just on ground level that you can see little to nothing. Right, American Airlines also going to center. That's interesting. And EasyJet is continuing. Arrival from Bristol. Is it going to land on runway 27 then? Which runway has EasyJet flight 22921 been assigned to? Air Canada going to center, Marissa says, so everything going to center now? What are they going to do? Are they going to close the runway then? Too densely fogged over here. KLM from Edmonton confirmed for Polderwan. And where is EasyJet? Oh, EasyJet is turning to the north, so that is also going to go to center then. Right, well. Question is, shall I continue with the stream when visibility is this low? I'm bored to bits, and I'm sure you guys are too. We don't have a lot of viewers, even less than normally for a Monday. What a effing waste. Right, one lousy airplane coming. KLM flight 676 arriving from Edmonton. Absolutely nothing going on here. You can see the blue in the sky. But looking at the trees, or at least where the trees should be at, hard to see anything. Hard to see where the pipes traverse the cycling path, which is about 100 meters or so. 150. How much is the separation between those lanterns? 50 or so meters? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 200 meters in that case. The fog is not very high. This is looking in the direction of where normally the tower would be. I was still able to see the tower when I arrived here. Only later did it fully close down. Now, do have a strong feeling that the sun is out there. It is looking like it is opening up a little bit. definitely can see more blue above me. Right. I don't believe it. The number of viewers is even increasing. Why? There's nothing to see. This is boring AF. I'm really contemplating quitting, going home. I've got other stuff to do as well. I'm a busy man. Nothing happening here. Just one lousy airplane arriving from Edmonton, Canada. The birds waiting. Right, well, KLM flight 676 should be very close near the runway. 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from Edmonton, Canada. 747, its time of flight, 7 hours and 47 minutes. PHBKG, 5 years old, first flight January 2020. Sounds like it's landing. Yeah, it has landed. Then where is it? Ghost plane! It's a ghost plane. Hey, check it out! Unidentified flying object. It also sounds like the bird control is nearby, though I am not able to see them. Can we see sunspots? I think we might be able to see them. Yes, check it out. Activity on the sun, sunspots. Normally you would need special glasses or a foil over the lens to protect your camera and your eyes from going blind, but now you are able to see sunspots thanks to the fog. That is beautiful to see. The right density for a brief moment, allowing us to see sunspots. Terrific. Well, at least we have something interesting to see. Foggy conditions here at Schiphol Airport. Sunspots, courtesy of the mist, the fog. You can see the sidereal movement of the Earth, which makes it seem as if the sun is moving. Sunspots, but no airplanes. Yeah, there you go. Welcome to AMS Astrophotography live here from Schiphol Airport. You can hear an airplane on its way to the center runway. Right, so the sun is out and it has a couple of sunspots. There's an E2 Embraer arriving from Porto in Portugal, coming to the Polderbaan. Not yet sure if we are able to see it. Good morning to everybody who has joined in the meantime. Parallel arrivals in progress instead of everything going to the Polderbaan. Spatial separation needed because, well, as you guys have seen already and are gathering from the fact that we can see sunspots through mist, it is foggy. It began with blue skies here in the Netherlands, and we can still see blue in the sky. Currently, this is what it looks like looking to the north. I'm looking to a big chunk of blue sky over here. Mist is really on ground level. I'm hoping the visibility will improve a little. Seems to improve already. KLM flight 1570 arriving from Porto in Portugal has landed. And away it is. The sunspots, the umbras and the penumbras are even visible. There you go. Who would have thought? Welcome to AMS Astrophotography live from Schiphol Airport. You're watching the sun and sunspots on the sun surface. Cooler spots of, I think, focal points of magnetism, if I recall correctly. At the moment, foggy conditions here at Schiphol Airport. We started with blue sky here, and you can still see the blue sky, but there's mist on ground level. We have an Embraer an Airbus A320 arriving from Zurich. The next quad squad member coming is going to be the A340 600. Arriving from Suriname, from Paramaribo. Not sure if we can see it. Not sure if it's going to go to this runway. All the interesting airplanes seem to be going to the center runway. So this is what it looks like. This is looking to the south. You know, there should be trees over there in the background. Hard to see them. Then again, we are able to see blue sky. Looking around, and particularly north of me, quite clearly visible. The pipes traversing the cycling path about 200 meters north of me, a bit better visible than it was before. Right, Swiss is landing, 27-year-old A320-200 arriving from Zurich. Now, can we see it? That's the question. Yes, we see something a bit further in advance. Here it is. I think you're right, Ton. The mist does seem to be gradually moving away. Good morning, Jeroen, and good morning to all others who have joined us in the meantime. Spotting no longer possible. The sun now being too bright to see those spots on the sun on the surface. It was nice while it lasted. For the first time, I'm again seeing the contours of the bridge there, where the pipes are traversing the roundabout of the cycling path. So, dare I say it cautiously, improvement of visibility, finally. And not a moment too soon, because half an hour from now, the next Quad Squad member is coming in. We missed the first one. I started the stream early because I was hoping I was going to film the Singapore Airlines 747 arriving from Nairobi. Next to arrive is KLM flight 592 arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa. Not a 777 as it normally would be, but a Dreamliner 7879. It's the PHBHC. 9 years old, first flight October 2015. Another beacon over there is that pole with cameras on it. The fact that we can see it, an indication of improvement of visibility. Oh, check it out. There's even a contrail to be seen. So visibility upwards. Seriously improving. That bodes well, I think I'm starting to get cautiously optimistic about seeing the rest of the Quad Squad. Provided that they're going to be assigned to the Polderbaan. Things are improving. Think we can do contrail spotting more easily now than actual landings on Polderbaan. Upwards visibility, vertical visibility is better than horizontal visibility at the moment, but it is improving by the minute. Check it out, you can already see the contours of the forest again. So it's looking better and better. This is looking to the west now. More and more blue sky. The sun more and more shining through the mist. It's burning away the mist. I can even see the fence on the other side of the runway. So there's serious improvement, seriously quick. Means there's a big chance we are going to see the entire Quad Squad after all. Fingers crossed that Suriname will be assigned to the Polderbaan. For those of you joining us just now, let's have another quick look at what is happening. Suriname expected in half an hour from now. Saudi expected in 35 minutes from now. And still before 11 o'clock expected is Cargolux arriving from Nairobi in Kenya. Emirates A380 is expected shortly before 1 o'clock. Let's see what the meter is saying. Patches of fog, IFR conditions, 2.6 kilometers of visibility and a ceiling at 1200 feet. It's opening up. Here's what I can see over here. Let's update the meter, which on days like today is running behind regardless. Well, all planes assigned to center at the moment. I wonder for how much longer, because you can see things are improving by the minute here. Contrails in the sky. I can even see the bird control over there. They're doing an inspection. I'm hoping it is going to precede the reopening of Polderbaan as dedicated runway for arrivals, because visibility is improving by the minute. The sun is actually doing its work and burning away all the nastiness here on ground level. So I'm thinking this is the last check before center is going to close and order is going to resume. It's going to be resumed, I should say. What is up, Mark? And what is up, all the other folk who have joined us in the meantime? Misty conditions, but luckily it is opening up. It's opening up by the minute. Check out how much things have improved here compared with what they were before. We can see the details everywhere. I think we might even be able to see airplanes going to center pretty soon. Let's see. So, Delta Airlines Flight 74, A350. I'm assuming it has been assigned to the center runway still for the time being. You can see things are improving here quite rapidly. Nice contrails in the sky. Right. Lovely conditions. The lights of Polderbaan are still on. I'm thinking they're doing an inspection and pretty soon we're going to see airplanes being assigned to Polderbaan once again. Would be ludicrous to have center open as the only runway when things are opening up like the way they are now. Look around, you can see visibility is quite well. We're even starting to see the contours of the tower once again. Curious to see what is going to happen with the A340. It's the first next quad squad member expected in 25 minutes or so. Let's see. There should be a Lufthansa over there somewhere. Oh yeah, I think I can even see it. So, silver lining is we're even going to be able to see airplanes going to the parallel runway. However vague it might seem. Now, it's opening up. I'm thinking normal resumption of runway use will not be far away. You can see there's still an inspection in progress. Bird control is still on the runway, checking the tarmac. Well, meanwhile, big picture wise, you can see blue skies and a bit of high clouds here and there. That's the current status quo. We were able to do some sunspot spotting as well. The pipes once again clearly visible. Even a little bit of shade here, a shady figure. Right. Has one of the approaching airplanes been assigned to Polderbaan already? Plane ahead of the A340 just got assigned center. Really weird. Visibility no longer that bad. Makes no sense. Delta Airlines Flight 74 going to center. So we're stood here with good visibility vertically and horizontal visibility improving by the minute. For the time being, everything is still being assigned to the center runway, which is interesting. The lights here on at Polderbaan are still on, the runway lights. There's a constant slew of wide bodies arriving from the west. Which runway have they been assigned to? You can see things are improving by the minute. Horizontal visibility improving. Nicholas says that the A340 is going to center. It's plain stupid what they're doing. We're even able to see the trees again of the road that is leading towards the Spottersplaats. We can even see trucks driving on the road in the background. Makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense that they're diverting everything to the center runway. So what is happening? Let's have a quick look. Let's see what the meter is saying. Well, you guys can see it's not updating very quickly. We are already missing out on Suriname, which has been assigned to center. Will the same happen to Saudi? I think maybe. Not very optimistic anymore about our chances of seeing the entire quad squad up close. What they've done now is that everything is going to center. And expected runway use, have they updated anything? They haven't. Bezoekbus outdated. It's still indicating that Polderbaan is the primary runway for arrivals, when in actuality it is no longer. We're standing here and this runway is now in use. For how much longer remains to be seen. Will all depend on ATC and what ATC is going to do. One thing we know for sure, the websites are running behind both the METAR and runway use and expected runway use. So it is the actual practice that we need to take into consideration. Have any airplanes in the vicinity of Schiphol been assigned to Polderbaan already, or are they going to continue with... Well, here we have our triplet of firefighters. They're doing it around as normal. Everything's still going to center. Thanks, Marissa. Really odd. Good visibility. For fuck's sake, we even have decent visibility here of airplanes landing to the center runway. Okay, and I'm at 702. Yeah, you're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and this is the channel that not only Schiphol Group but also ATC seems to love to hate. Motherfuckers. Right, we're standing on a runway with perfect visibility. One of the preferential runways together with Kaagbaan, and they're not using it. We can see the bloody firefighters until they are going around the northern threshold of the runway, for fuck's sake. And Hans, I'm wearing a couple of layers of everything. Russell also doesn't understand what is going on in the tower. He's running around confused here. What is happening? What is happening? I'm wondering as well. There you go. Got everything going to center. Quite well visible. If you joined us just now, welcome to the show. Have a look back at the beginning of the stream and you will know why everything is the way it is. We started with blue skies this morning when I woke up, then it became foggy, then it became even more foggy, and then it became so densely fogged there were go-arounds when I was setting up and I wasn't even able to see them, I was only able to hear them. The fog is now clearing, but unfortunately ATC has decided to make the center runway the primary runway for arrivals for the time being, leading us to miss the Singapore Airlines 747, and the A340 is also already assigned to the center runway. So it looks like the quad squad is going to the center runway today. Malky, mate, thank you so much for your continued support. 19 months of membership, for fuck's sake, boy. All the best, mate. Mate, thank you so much for your support and your kind words. At least we can have a laugh at the situation. But yeah, it's a sad day in that respect, where vertical visibility is unimpeded. Horizontal visibility is improving by the minute. However, all airplanes for the upcoming hour or so, I don't know until when, everything is going to center. Naoki, once again, thank you for your continued support, mate, and for making light of the situation. Now, talking about light, we did have a chance to look at Sunspots earlier in the show. Have a look if you missed it. Was absolutely worthwhile. Bob says, nice fog. Mate, you haven't seen anything. This is no nice fog. This is just a little bit of nebulosity. Go back to the beginning of the stream. Check out the first hour. That's dense fog. This is just light nebulosity. Unfortunately, still everything going to center. The firefighters not. They're coming this way. Now, will they honk or not? We'll soon find out. Yes. At least something is happening here at Polderbaan. They're not. Oh, will they? Just a wave. Honks are expensive and inflation is driving up costs. Right, MNG A300 arriving from Istanbul, A300 600. Where is it? It's coming. So, play. Is also coming, or Suriname in the meantime also approaching. And there's a contrail making a turn here. Airplane creating a contrail making a turn here. Now let's see, there's an A300, 600, and I had it visually for a minute, for a second. There it is. Alrighty, MNG, flight 149 arriving from Istanbul, A300, 600, 3 hours and 16 minutes on the way from Istanbul to Amsterdam. 25-year-old airplane, first flight March 1999. Nicholas says that play is coming to the Polderbaan, so it does look like everything is normalizing again. However, what is going to happen with all the 747s arriving from the east? Are they going to keep the center runway open, I'm wondering? I'm thinking they might. Saudi 747 also changed to Polderbaan, Nicholas says. That's good news. Now, what would be even better news is if the A340 would also change to Polderbaan. Yes, he did, Nicholas says. You mean the A340? SLM to Polder? Holy fuck. That's good news. First good news of the day. While missing out on that flipping A747 from Singapore Airlines. This is where we can expect airplanes later. Wow, awesome. So let's see which airplane is going to be the first airplane to Polderbaan. Is it KLM Flight 104? Or is it still going to the center runway? With SLM coming to the Polderbaan, we are eventually going to get the entire quad squad after all. I'm very thrilled about that. For those of you joining us later, welcome to the show. You're watching Amos Live. My name is Boy, and we are standing here at the polderbaan that was open in the early morning, then became densely fogged. Now it's opening up once again. Have a look at the first hour or the first couple of minutes of the stream, and you will see what conditions were like this morning. As I was setting up, I heard 3 go-rounds. I wasn't able to see them because couldn't see a thing. Now luckily things are opening up again. Also nice, we were able to see sunspots on the surface of the sun earlier. Beautiful to see. Lance also back, good to see you, mate. So we had some sunspot spotting. We're doing some truck spotting, and pretty soon we are going to do quad spotting as well. Things are opening up nicely here on ground level as well. Have a look. The road that is on the other side of the fields, immediately adjacent to the cycling path here, quite clearly visible. It's a lovely day otherwise. Just a surprise, a foggy surprise this morning. And I woke up, I opened the curtains, and I was looking at beautiful blue skies. Then it became grey, and then it became foggy. It was foggy in my hometown already. It was foggy on the way to the polderbaan, and when I arrived here I could still see the tower. Went over to the place I'm currently stood at and started setting up, and pretty soon lost visibility of the tower. It became worse and worse. Luckily it's now over. Everything is rerouted to the polderbaan. That's good news. KLM 758 is the first. That's good news. That's really good news. Now visibility has resumed, and the excavator is also staffed again and is doing some work. In the meantime, a good morning one and all. Let's have a quick look on flight radar and whatnot, see what the current status quo is. The quad squad is still coming, so if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around. METAR is lagging today. On days like today it always is. Patches of fog still reported, and broken clouds and whatnot. It's a shitload of clouds and a ceiling. Looking on flight radar, this is the current status quo. 2 quad squad members already in Dutch airspace. Suriname having been assigned to the polderbaan. Saudia has 2. Cargolux is approaching, expected shortly before 11, so fingers crossed it is going to land over here. We also have Atlas Air underway, that's expected around 2, and shortly before 1 o'clock we have the Emirates A380. Now Maria's son is also underway from Bonaire on the Corendon A350. I think that was also expected around the same time as the Emirates A380. Should be a nice polderbaan landing. Now, we also can do some bird spot. Oh, we can also do some bird spotting here. While we're waiting for KLM flight 758. ETA around 12:18. Thanks for the update, Maria. Ooh. Look at the little bird parading. Ricardo says, I have a question for you. What are those tubes along the polderbaan? It says vervangende persleiding. Temporary replacement, voor tijdelijke vervanging voor persleiding, pressure piping. I think it has to do with sewage. Met riolering heeft het te doen. But I'm no expert, so don't take my word for it. I'm only regurgitating what I read in the chat from other people. Right. It does look like center is still open. Turkish is going to center. That's interesting. Has Saudi been rerouted to center then as well? I'm wondering. It seems that center is still open for traffic from the east. Saudi is still on Polderbaan, Nicholas says. Thanks for the update, mate. 5 more landings at center. Okay. Right. Well, folks, the moment of truth is here. We're awaiting the first airplane that I think we ought to be able to see a little bit in advance. Instead of just hearing it and vaguely seeing a ghost pass by once it has already landed. KLM flight 758 arriving from Panama City. It's a 787-10 Dreamliner coming this way. It has journeyed 9 hours and 22 minutes to get here. It's the PHBKI, 4 years old, first flight August 2020. And I think I am seeing some lights. There it is. Ooh. Reflections are hindering. I'm also going to put the cap over the camera screen. Reduce reflections as much as possible. Mike asks what time the A340 is landing. 5 or 10 minutes or so from now. Here it is. KLM flight 758. First airplane that we can actually see before it touches the ground today. There it is, the moment of truth. The first actual touchdown of the show. What? Bloody hell. How long have we been streaming now? 1.5 hours or so? Two hours. No, 1 hour. Only 1 hour? What? Man, time really goes slowly if you're bored, aren't you? Now, luckily, that's no longer going to be the case because we have traffic coming this way. On both sides, in the air and on the ground. Check out this truck driver showing us how to reverse on a very narrow cycling path with a truck that is only barely wider than the cycling path is. There's no mirror on the inside, he just has to rely, or she, on what the outside mirrors are indicating. That's skill right there. That's skill right there. Excellent. Very skilled truck driver. As we have an A330 passing us by to the center runway. And the A340, now number 2. Next airplane to come in, TUI flight 370. And after that, the first quad squad member, folks. TUI Flight 370 is arriving from Willemstad to Curaçao. It's a 7878 Dreamliner, 10 years old, first flight May 2014. It's the PHTFK, so I think this was the very first in its fleet. After that, it is time for Suriname Flight 994, operated by USC, and that's an A340 600. Coming here to the Polderbaan. I think we're hearing a GE90 being started. Right. First of the Quad Squad members, folks. If you've been enjoying the stream so far and you haven't already, consider leaving a like. It really helps to promote this content and its channel and its content to people like yourselves who are into streams such as these but who haven't come across the channel yet. I'm also in dire need of a sip of vodka. Suriname becoming visually apparent. There it is. Only just. So this is USC flying on behalf of Suriname, flight 994, arriving from Paramaribo. 8 hours and 26 minutes on the way. 21 years old, this airplane. First flight December 2003. And Albert says that center is now closed. Just handling the last arrival, so everything will be coming to the Polderbaan again. Next Quad Squad member is already in Dutch airspace, also assigned to this runway, Saudia 747. Damn. Flipping awesome, and Nicholas giving us good news. Cargolux also confirmed for Polderbaan, so 2 747s underway to the Polderbaan, the runway we are standing next to. So stick around, folks. Quad Squad member day, and the entire Quad Squad arriving here on Polderbaan. First member, the A340, the one that got away, Singapore Airlines 747. It landed on center while we were experiencing very dense fog here. If you joined us just now and you think it's foggy right now, have a look at the first hour of the stream later and you'll see what we had to deal with. We weren't able to see a thing, just only hearing able to hear things. Saudia now number 3, 2 narrow bodies preceding it. The first being KLM flight 1918, arriving from Zurich, and that's number 190. Visible over there, flight time 1 hour and 13 minutes. It's the PHEZS, 14 years old, first flight August 2010. KLM flight 1352. After that, still outbound traffic visible better than inbound traffic. Vertical visibility was miles ahead of horizontal visibility throughout the morning. Those birds are still over here really close by. Although they are... No? They're using camouflage colors. Michael says, it was so foggy. I'm proud of you for sticking with the stream and not cancelling it. Well done, you. Well, my fingers were tingling, were itching. Thing is, I get bored really quickly, and I know that a lot of you do too. Then again, it would have been a shame if we weren't able to see the entire quad squad. Strange day. Normally speaking, you wake up with fog and it clears, and this time around we woke up with blue skies and it became foggy while I was preparing to go here and while I was on the way. And even when we were here, initially it got worse before it became better. KLM flight 1352. And after that, the Saudia 747 arriving from Jeddah. I'm waiting for the Saudia to emerge. Second quad squad member and the first queen of the show, Saudia flight 933. Saudia cargo arriving from Jeddah, 5 hours and 48 minutes on the way. There it is. We have a visual, the gear already extended. Now this 747 is 30 years old already. First flight of this airplane was in December 1994. I was in middle school then for a couple of months. 1994 until the year 2000. In the meantime, K4 just now passed by through a little wave. And Marissa says that behind the 747 is a Tarom in the Happy 70 Years livery. Don't think we've ever seen that in the live streams before, so looking forward to that. Don't know what it looks like. And a massive big thank you to Gert, who just now became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. Thank you for choosing AMS Live and the Aurora Sky Lounge as your place to hang out in. I hope you won't be disappointed. You have access to the custom emojis now, so use them whenever you see fit. Spamming is not allowed, but you are allowed to use custom emojis as often and whenever you want. Let's look and listen. Hopefully she'll use the reversers. Yesterday it was a bit disappointing in the reverser department. Hopefully things are improving today. Nope, idle reverse landing. That's a pity. "30 years old, this airplane. Began flying as a professional airplane in December 1994. What were you doing back then?" Hey Lise, goedemorgen. Check it out, the Hitachi is loaded onto the truck. Awesome. There you go. That truck driver displaying one hell of a skill set, reversing all the way down the cycling path to load it up. The Hitachi excavator. Next up, Tarom in a very special livery. And also, if the chat isn't moving so quickly, a massive big thank you to Nicholas, who just now became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. Nicholas, thank you for your support and for choosing the lounge as your place to hang out in. Hopefully the custom emojis and being a member will be satisfactory to you. Now, this is a gorgeous livery. Happy 70 years. It's a retro livery. I love the black dotted nose on those retro airplanes. Boop the snoot is a tendency I think a lot of you have when you see something cute like this. It is a 23-year-old 737-700 hailing from the year 2001. Oh, what a cutie. Now, it does look familiar. I think we have seen it before in the streams, but it has been quite a long time ago. It does look familiar to me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's not a channel premiere, but it is a gorgeous machine. In the meantime, also Evan, back in the chat. Buenos dias, senor. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Not just with you, but with everybody. If you join us only just now and you're thinking, oh man, it looks foggy. Have a look. Check out what the first hour of the stream was like. It was terrible. There were 3 go-rounds in the time I was setting up here and I wasn't even able to see them. Also, we were able to do some sunspot spotting on the surface of the sun. The mist having the right density for us to be able to see the sunspots with the umbras and the penumbras even. So the dark core shadow and the lighter shadow around it. A little bit of astrophotography as well, taking me back. This is an A320neo playtime. Make the chat red, guys. The emoji is there for a reason. The airplane is 4 years old, first flight September 2020. It's quad squad day here at AMS Live. The A340 600 has already landed. And 2 747s have 2. No, 1 or 2. Yeah, 2. If I recall correctly. Let's have a quick look. If I recall correctly, the Emirates A380 is still expected. No, I was wrong. Cargolux hasn't landed yet. The next quad squad member is going to land in a couple of minutes from now on Polderbaan. After that, we are awaiting for the Emirates A380, which is expected 10 minutes to 1 today. There are more 747s expected for later in the afternoon, 2 o'clock and 2:30. Although I don't think I'm going to stick around for that. Let's have a look at the meter. The meter has been running behind all day, now showing visibility of 4.5 kilometers, a little bit of wind. Wind has picked up to 6 knots, no ceiling any longer, no significant weather as well, so that's good news. If the nebulosity clears up, it's even going to be called Cavo K again. I'm pasting the weather report in the ticker for you guys, and then it's back to the camera controls. So it's the full quad squad arrival today. All the quad engined airplanes that are frequenting Schiphol Airport in one show. The A340 600 from Suriname landed already. Saudia 747 landed already. The one that got away is Singapore Airlines Cargo. That arrived in dense, foggy conditions and went to the center runway, which opened up temporarily because of the required increased spatial separation between the airplanes. When visibility drops to what it was earlier in the morning. We even have our first glide slope shot, ladies and gentlemen. 2 airplanes visible. There you go. BA flight 430, the first airplane coming in. The next airplane after that is Air Arabia Maroc, or is it Electra? Yeah, it's Electra Airways flying on behalf of Air Arabia Maroc. Third airplane I'm not seeing yet. Should be JetBlue arriving from Boston. Nicholas says that the ITA A320neo is the first for 18C again. 747 still confirmed for 18 right. That's good news. It is, of course, almost 11 o'clock. And that means parallel arrivals for 40 minutes. Or at least that's what it usually means. On days like today, things can change rapidly. BA flight 430 A319 arriving from London Heathrow. 24-year-old airplane called Jupe. G-E-U-P-P. Now, a lot of celebrations once again. And thank you, Gouwe River, for your kind words. Who says in Dutch, good morning all, I'm new here. Nice, all the added charts and schedules. Thanks for your kind words. And nice of you to say hi. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi, like Gouwe River just now did. It's not mandatory, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many people are watching, they're all friendly. And there's no such thing as a stupid question. Also, a massive big thank you to Ronald for your continued support. 1.5 years, aka 18 months of membership. Fuck the fuck, keep up these great streams. He writes, thank you for your kind words, Ronald. I will definitely do my best to do that. And also a massive big thank you to Barry, who is celebrating 4 months of membership. No accompanying text along with it, but that's okay. Thank you so much, Barry, for your continued support as well. Hope you guys still like it in the lounge. Something is no longer to your liking, let me know. If we're running low on certain supplies, let me know and I'll put it on the groceries list. This is Electra Airways, just now having landed, arriving from Nador, I think. Let's turn around and have a look at the next airplane coming in. This is JetBlue A321neo arriving from New York, JFK, 6 hours and 26 minutes underway. Brand new airplane, first flight April 2024. Mike Wild, good morning. John, good morning. And good morning to all others who have joined. JetBlue coming in, A321neo. Another A321neo from KLM. Behind that, arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle. After that, we are going to see a Delta A330 arriving from Salt Lake City. JetBlue going all quiet. Good morning, Mohammed, who is tuning in from Nasiriyah in Iraq. Nice to see that we are also reaching people over there. Welcome one and all. Next up, KLM flight 1402 arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle. It's an A321neo with Delta Airlines A330 behind it, arriving from Salt Lake City. The airplane coming in next is the Faxay, and that's the first of the 4 A321neos that KLM still has flying today. More are coming, but not yet. Also a massive big thank you to Fanblade for your super sticker. A pair character stretching his arm forward and raising his... what was it? His thumb up, his arm up. Boy is indicating that there is a significant difference between what it looks like today, right now, and what it did 1.5 hours ago. It was, wasn't it? Or it is, isn't it? If you compare that with 3 hours ago, the difference is even more sizable. Because we started with blue skies here and then it progressively become more cloudy, nebulous. And then it started opening up again. Cargolux arriving from Nairobi, Kenya, now number 2, behind this Delta Airlines flight 56, which is arriving from Salt Lake City. 8 hours and 51 minutes on the way, 9 years old, first flight April 2015. Good morning, Robert, and all others who have joined in the meantime. You're watching Amos Live. My name is Boy. Polderbound arrivals after an extremely dense fog and unexpected fog attack here in the Schiphol area this morning. If you don't know what I'm talking about, rewind to the first hour of the stream and you'll see there were 3 go-arounds when I was here setting up. I didn't see a single one of them, I only heard them. You had the auto land. Paul also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. At least we can see you now. Near zero visibility in the first hour of the stream, quite unexpectedly. Woke up with blue skies and then things suddenly went south. Now things are on the rise again. Second queen of the show, third quad squad member of the stream, Cargolux, operated by Cargolux Italia, arriving from Nairobi, Kenya. 8 hours and 42 minutes on the way. 19-year-old airplane, first flight November 2005. The Emirates A380 is expected somewhere between 12 and 1. If I recall correctly, 10 minutes to 1 or something like that. There's also more 747s coming in, but those are expected later in the afternoon. One 747 got away, unfortunately. It was Singapore Airlines cargo arriving from Nairobi earlier in the morning. Due to the low visibility, it got assigned and landed on runway center. Let's look and listen. Hopefully this one will get loud. Yes, a little bit. Finally, an airplane using its reversers. Beautiful. Also outbound traffic overhead. Chinese triple. Going back to China. Vertical visibility has been better than horizontal visibility all throughout the morning, but look at what we can see now and compare that with what it was in the beginning of the stream. Day and night difference. So if you joined us just now, you may have missed the landing of this second 747 of the show. The first was Saudia. It also landed here on the Polderbaan. The very first quad squad member was the A340-600, which also landed here on the Polderbaan. Now we're waiting for the Emirates A380, expected shortly before 1. Also, Maria's son is returning from Bonaire on the Corendon Dreamliner, expected shortly after noon. We started the show with dense fog, then things opened up gradually and we were able to do some sunspot spotting on the sun. Now Air Oink Oink is arriving. It's a beautiful day. Although I came this close to wrapping up early. The dense fog was so bad it was hard to see anything, and there you go, we can see parallel arrivals have begun. Beautiful Ita, although with a layer of nebulosity in between it and us, the blue does not shine that brightly. Goedemorgen Luke. Goedemorgen Suzanne. Good morning Wayne. David Scott Explores. Good morning. Next up, KLM flight 1930, arriving from Geneva. That's a 737-800. 16 years old, first flight February 2008. Alan has to go. And what? You hope I have a great day? I thought you wished everybody a miserable day. What's going on, mate? Are you okay? You take care, Alan. Have a great day or a miserable day, whatever you prefer. Have your pick. Looking forward to seeing you again later in the week. What's this? Is it a Qatar A380? It's flying west to east, south of me. I'm inclined to think it may be an A380. Yeah, it for a moment looked like it was Qatar. This looks a lot like Lufti. Also coming from where traffic from Frankfurt and Munich usually arrives from. Emirates A380 from Manchester. Thanks, Nicholas. I was right about the A380 thing in part and not about the rest. Next airplane coming in is BA flight 8451, arriving from London City. It's an Embraer 190 short range, and it's a very fit airplane for this route. Only 180 nautical miles. The journey usually lasts around 40 to 45 minutes. The Embraer 190 short range we're seeing is 14 years old, hailing from the year 2011, although the month is not specified on flight radar. And is there a message for the AMS Live viewers behind the sunscreen? Let's have a look. I'm still inviting all first officers flying to Schiphol to leave us a message. You can see we are able to read it if you use a Sharpie and not a pencil. You'll definitely get your separate video when you do. I promise. Right, next airplane coming in is an EasyJet A320 Neorio, arriving from Edinburgh. 1 hour and 4 minutes on the way. 2-year-old airplane, first flight July 2022. I'm hearing all kinds of weird noises, and I'm wondering, is it emanating from the pipes next to me? It's almost as if it has a heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. quite quite the typical rhythm. Right, EasyJet coming in. Bombardier C-Series 100 from ITA as the next airplane to center. The airplane that I used as a thumbnail yesterday. Gouwe says, "Dear boy, you are quite accomplished in English. Is it your second language? It sounds good." I think it is my second language after Dutch. And thank you for your kind words. A320 in the Oreo. Oreo cookies. I don't think you are able to hear the sound that well because my Sennheiser is pointing in the other direction. I'm going to walk around, pick it up, turn it around. Tuk 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 tuk. Bum 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 bum. It's almost as if the pipes have a heartbeat. Right, walking back. Now, folks. Yeah, the waist is alive. Indeed, Paul. But it sounds like a heartbeat, doesn't it? If you've ever used a stethoscope and listened to a heartbeat, this is what you're hearing when somebody is in rest. Tick tick, tick tick, tick tick. Second ITA of the show. Unfortunately, both going to the quote-unquote wrong runway. Now, normal procedures would dictate that from now until approximately 11:40 we are seeing parallel arrivals. K4 is driving along the runway and not on it, even though traffic now mostly seems to be going to the center runway. I have no clue that Polderbaan is closed. It's just we have to wait a little bit for the next traffic. More contrails in the sky north of me. Hard to make out this one. Is it the 737? I think it was. We have another KLM arriving from Southampton, and there's also an A350 from Qatar arriving from Doha that is turning in for center, unfortunately. Hadi Roy, goedemorgen. And I'm not smelling the sewage, Adriaan, so that's the most important thing. It's not smelly here, not yet. Good morning, Donna. Donna says, if you say way, you can have a Geordie passport from Newcastle. Way. Way is what I use after I've been to the gym, eh? Anyway, eh? The next airplane here to Polderbaan is number 175 that I am struggling to see yet. Not just visually, but also on the camera. It's arriving from Southampton. Ah, Leon says it was a high sky A330 that I zoomed in on. There you go. Yeah, I was thinking it might have been a 737. Looked like it was having substantial more substantial winglets than the A330 normally has, but then again, when you're filming contrails, you're always in the deep end of digital zoom and you're just magnifying pixels. Alrighty. While the Embraer 175 is getting closer by, there are also two contrails that are approaching one another. How close will they get? Not very. The bottom one is going to be past the top one already. Yeah. Alright, well, it was worth having a look. Meanwhile, KLM flight 1070 arriving from Southampton is approaching the Polderbaan. Not far behind it to the center runway is Qatar flight 275 arriving from Doha. That's an A350-900, which I can already see in the distance. Combo shot if I zoom out. There you go. Here's Qatar flight 275 arriving from Doha, A350-900 going to the center runway. Left Doha 6 hours and 49 minutes ago. The airplane is 6 years old. Its first flight was in April 2018. Gino also back in the chat, good to see ya. And welcome all others who have joined us. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. We are standing here at the Polderbaan. At the moment, parallel arrivals in progress. This is the Qatar A350 arriving from Doha. Going to the center runway. Still a bit hazy, though nowhere near as foggy as it was in the beginning of the stream. If you joined us only just now, have a look. Go back to the beginning of the stream. You'll see what I'm talking about. There were 3 go-rounds in the time I was setting up and I didn't see a single one of them. Woke up with blue skies this morning. As I was preparing to head out and was heading out, things increasingly got more foggy. It peaked in the first hour of the stream and then quickly things improved again. If you joined us just now, you may have missed the landings of Quad Squad members already. The very first of them was the A340-600. We've had 2 747s and we're still sticking around for the Emirates A380, which is expected shortly before 1 o'clock. Blackburst also back in the chat. Nielsie, goedemorgen. Another contrail flying north of me from west to east. Looks like an A350. Is it Lufty? Almost looks like a Lufthansa A350, but what do I know? Something just passed overhead on their way over to United States or Canada, probably. With the sun behind you, you can see much more contrast, as you guys can see. A330? Question mark? Russell and Cheryl, over here. My companions. Jules says, I looked back at the start, I couldn't see anything. Yeah, absolutely. You weren't able to see a thing. The sounds that you're hearing are emanating from the bird control vehicle, which isn't on the runway yet. So there's no official runway inspection in progress at the moment, but I'm expecting one eventually. Next airplane coming in is number 190, arriving from London City. Also a quick moment to go back to the laptop and say a warm welcome to Steen GB 777. I probably mispronounced that. Steen GB 777. I hope I somewhat properly pronounced that. Our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member, thank you so much for choosing AMS Live and Aurora Sky Lounge as your place to hang out in. Be sure to use the custom emojis whenever you see fit. You now have access to them all. Thanks for your support and welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Steen GB 777. This is KLM Flight 980, having returned from London City. Quite a lot of fireworks being set off by the bird controller, which I am seeing over there in the distance. Gino says it looks foggy. Mate, you haven't seen anything yet. Look back, go back to the first hour of the stream. Have a look at what the circumstances were back then. This is light nebulosity. This is nothing to write home about. I think that the bird controller is doing a runway inspection right now because it seems that all traffic is going to the center runway, with the exception of this airplane that isn't showing on flight radar. What is going on? Is that EasyJet or what? Looks like an EasyJet, and my flight radar isn't showing it. I have inbound and outbound traffic for Schiphol, for AMS enabled on flight radar, so I don't know why I'm not seeing this airplane, but it is an EasyJet A320neo by the looks of it. EasyJet ghost flight indeed, Gert. Am I? And even without filters, it's not on flight radar, Marissa says. So that is that is peculiar. That is peculiar. In the meantime, welcome back, Mr. Peterson. Thank you so much for a very generous super chat there, Bill. And Bill writes, good morning, AMS Live friends from Minnesota. A good early morning to you too, Bill. Welcome back. And welcome all others who have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and it is Quad Squad Day, meaning all the quad-engined airplanes that frequent Schiphol Airport are coming in. The majority has already landed. The Suriname A340 600 has landed. Cargolux has already landed. Saudia 747 has landed. We're now awaiting the Emirates A380, which is expected shortly before 1 o'clock. Also, a nice bonus is that Maria's son is returning from Bonaire today on the Corendon A350, which I believe was expected around 12:20 or so. If you joined us just now, have a look at the beginning of the stream. I woke up with blue skies, then things started to get a little bit nebulous and hazy, then it became densely fogged. Have a look at the first hour of the stream, and you can see what things were like in the beginning. Compared with that, it is now Cavoke and beautiful blue skies. Normally, you wake up with fog and things clear up. Today we woke up with blue skies and then things started to fog up. What the fog? Ryanair is coming in, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. Ronald says that the airplane, the ghost plane that we weren't able to ID was coming in from Stansted. Still visible on ADSB. Now just having become visible is Ryanair flight 420 arriving from Dublin, Ireland, where it left from an hour and 6 minutes ago. 403 nautical miles the journey. Also fumbling in the meantime to get my batteries out of my heated gloves. Both died on me. Though it's not very cold, I think I'm going to continue with just fingerless gloves for a little while. There's hardly any wind, which is also why it fogged up in the first place, obviously. Camera control a bit better when you use bare hands. Ryanair using the reversers. That's how we've come to know them. That's what I like about Ryanair, even though they fly quote-unquote regular A737s and 737 Maxes. When you use the reversers on these airplanes, they still get loud. Adriaan is warning us that at 12 o'clock an alarm is going to sound. That's always in the Netherlands, the first Monday of the month. The air alarms are tested. For those of you who consider attacking the Netherlands, do it on the first Monday of the month at 12 o'clock. The alarms will be sounding anyway, and people will not notice it. Maximize your surprise effect. Parallel arrivals in the meantime. Everybody's, for the time being, another A321neo from KLM. Arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle, flight 1404. We saw fax A in the beginning, earlier, and this is fax D. Same as yesterday, where we also saw A and D, and I think later B or C. Now let's not forget that there's also traffic still coming to the Polderbaan. This is KLM flight 982, arriving from London City. 15 years old, first flight June 2009. Rail Europe, good morning. The Islander, good morning. And good morning to all others who have joined. Anybody home? Mother effer. I saw him look, I threw a wave, he didn't reciprocate. Oh, two contrails crossed each other in the sky. Where's that? There you go, there they fly, and this is where they happen to cross. By the looks of it, nah, that wasn't simultaneously. Right. Already starting to notice that the hands are getting cold again, so I'm going to put batteries in the heated gloves again. Feels like a subtle difference, but it is a difference, a significant difference. Elias, good morning. So it's 11:24. Contrails galore in the sky. Lovely to see so many of them. This one is flying nearly overhead. There's also one flying a bit further to the south. That looks like Lufty. But is it? think it is. I'm also hearing explosives. Where is bird control? It sounded like it was coming from behind, and I think I have the bird control vehicle over there. Another nice demonstration of physics, the difference between the speed of sound and the speed of light. Air Canada A330, Frankfurt to Montreal. The airplane passing overhead. In the meantime, good morning Paul, who is tuning in from sunny Leiden. Welcome back. Not sure if this is the beginning of a runway inspection. Normally around 15 or so minutes from now we should start seeing the Polderbaan becoming the only runway for arrivals once again. And usually preceded by that is a runway inspection. Now let's see, this is battery 1, so it means that 1 and 2 were in my gloves already. I need to insert numbers 3 and 4. Hadiap, tuning in from Gouda, a little to the south in the province of South Holland. Bird control, driving around a little bit. We're waiting for something to happen. I'm thinking we're going to see a runway inspection and temporarily everything going to the center runway, and then we are going to see Polderbaan once again becoming the only runway for arrivals, as often is the case, until approximately 1 o'clock. Bird controller is setting off a lot of fireworks. Happy New Year, folks. Good morning, De Sparta Rotterdam, and good morning, Harjeet, and all others who join us. Harjeet says, here no fog but completely cloudy in Friesland, opposite of there. Well, we had a lot of fog here in the early morning. If you look back at the first hour of the stream, you can see what I'm talking about. Luckily, now only a little bit of haziness. The next airplane to come in to Polderbaan, also approaching, Embraer 190 arriving from Norwich. Here it is, KLM flight 1056. It is a Britty hopper, Eastern Airways, flying on behalf of KLM. Flight time 29 measly minutes. 127 nautical miles it has journeyed. It is an Embraer 190 long range for 127 nautical miles and half an hour of flight. The airplane is 16 years old, hailing from the year 2009, the month not being specified. Hadi Donna, goedemorgen. Good morning. Roy, goedemorgen. Good morning. If you listen carefully, you might also hear that the heartbeat of the pipes has resumed again. After a prolonged asystole, the pipes are once again alive. Is there a message for us behind the sunscreen? Let's have a look. Nope, not today. I'm still calling out all first officers frequenting Schiphol Airport. Leave us a message. If you use a Sharpie, we should be able to read it. Still looking forward to the day that somebody is going to pick that up, that request, and is going to do that. Also a massive big thank you and warm welcome to Julian Baars, who just became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. Thanks for choosing the lounge as your place to hang out in. Hope you will like it over there. There are many members already in the lounge. They can show you the way around and also enjoy the custom emojis. Now, next up, KLM flight 1042. Should be over there somewhere. Vertical visibility still better than horizontal visibility. There's the haziness is interfering a little bit with visibility. Hadi Han, goeiemorgen. How many dots did I evade? I don't know. I don't know how many we saw in the dense fog that we had in the first hour of the show. If you join us just now, have a look back. There's nothing happening at the moment, so rewind to the first hour of the stream, see what we were dealing with in the beginning of the stream. I woke up with blue skies, then things became grey, then it became nebulous, then it became hazy, then it became foggy, and then it became densely fogged. I think that helicopter Kestrel... No. Thought maybe he was having something with him. Went to the ground first. PH Kestrel. Indeed. That's the registration of that bird. This is KLM flight 1042, returning from Birmingham. So yeah, things progressively got more misty and foggy. When I arrived here, I could still see the tower of the Polderbaan when I was setting up. I couldn't see it anymore. During the time I was setting up, I heard 3 go-arounds. I didn't see them. I was only able to see them, to hear them. Luckily, things are improving again. And improving is also what is on the glide slope. The next airplane to come in, A330 300 KLM arriving from Bonaire. Here it is already, KLM flight 767, and of course not a Boeing 767 but an Airbus A330. 8 hours and 35 minutes on the way. It's the Fakka, and that motherfucker is coming in from Bonaire. The airplane is 13 years old, first flight February 2012. If you joined us just now, you missed 3 Quad Squad members already. The A340 600 landed earlier here on Polderbaan. Saudia and Cargolux 747s did too. Next airplane of the Quad Squad, making the Quad Squad complete, is the Emirates A380. And a nice added bonus is that Maria's son is approaching the Netherlands in the Corendon A350, returning from Bonaire. That should be arriving in 45 minutes or so from now, unless the ETA has changed significantly. Right, the Fakka, arriving from Bonaire. Now, also for astrophotography fans, we were able to do a little bit of sunspot spotting when mist was lifting. It was right at the right density for a brief moment of time. Subdued landing, idle reversers, as almost always. KLM. Thinking about the neighbors and the noise abatement. German Airways arriving from Bristol, flying for KLM next. There's also Contra over there, further to the east, that looks like it might be a quad squad member. If I have to call it, I would say it's an Emirates A380. But it is really far away still. So it's more a gamble than anything. Next up is a German Airways Embraer 190 flying on behalf of KLM, arriving from Bristol. So not a Britty hopper, but a German Airways actually coming this way. Flight time 56 minutes. The airplane is 16 years old, hailing from the year 2009, month not specified, but we all know it's probably going to be January. It's 11:36. Pretty soon, center is going to close for arrivals. Right now we have a Norwegian lipstick airplane that is approaching the center runway. Let's have a look. Can we see grumpy faces on the tail? Or is it... It's blank. It's blank. Let's have another quick look at that quad squad member. Is it indeed an Emirates A380? Not so sure. Well, no. Still think it looks still looks like an Emirates A380. Right. No, this was not former Chucky. It was not the DAPRI. It was, what was it? The DAGMP. DAGMP. Hey, another quad squad member just passed south of me. Lufty A340. Is it the 600 or is it... It's a Lufty A340. That much I can tell. Let's have another look at that Emirates A380. Yeah, now more easily recognizable as such. Bloop. Just a little speck in the distance. KLM flight 1174 arriving from Stavanger. Embraer 175. Oh. Seven years old, first flight July 2017. Lufty A340 300 from Frankfurt to Dallas. Thank you guys for the updates. The A380 from Dubai to Glasgow. There it is. Looks pixelated AF because we are in the top end of optical zoom. That's 400 times digital zoom. Did I say optical? I mean digital, of course. So we're magnifying pixels here. Wondering, can we traverse the ice? I don't think we can. You can see puddles of water starting to form over there. And I think there's another quad squad passing overhead. Right south of me. No, that's Emirates. That's an Emirates 777-300ER. Because it cannot be anything else then. Flying immediately overhead. Nice to see. Keeping us entertained while more and more Embraers are landing here on the Polderbaan. This is KLM Flight 1788 having arrived from Hanover. I'm thinking the center runway is closed again and everything inbound is coming to the Polderbaan once again. E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Billund. Next to arrive KLM Flight 1292. 49 minutes on the way. Three-year-old airplane, first flight November 2021. Again, those pipes with their heartbeat. Regular pulse. Paul says, connect to the James Webb telescope. Would that I could. Although the sunspots we were able to see were quite beautiful. Now, 2 consecutive E2 Embraer 195s are approaching Schiphol, the Polderbaan. We have outbound traffic a little lower and a little higher. There's another contrail coming this way. Let's have a quick look. That looks like a narrow body. Looks like a narrow body. The first of the 2 consecutive E2 Embraers just now landed. KLM Flight 954 from Newcastle. The next. Malaysian cargo A330 freighter. Okay, thanks Roy. Hey, Wolfgang also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Much better than before, absolutely. Things have cleared up quite nicely. Day and night difference if you compare that to the first hour of the stream. The A340 landed on the Polderbaan eventually, as did the 2 747s following it. The only one that got away was the Singapore Airlines 747 arriving from Nairobi. The one for which I was headed out earlier than normal. Oh yeah, indeed, Rodney. Almost forgot that the Garuda Indonesia in the retro livery is also coming. In an hour or so from now, the Emirates A380 is expected. Between now and then, Garuda is coming. And Corendon is coming with on board Maria's son, returning from Bonaire. I think that the A350 is expected in half an hour or so from now. Just over half an hour. ETA earlier was 12:20 or so. Mascargo A330 arriving from Doha will be next. Let's have a quick look at the current status quo. Before that, A330 is approaching. So the Emirates A380 is flying in Austrian airspace, actually is expected shortly before 1 o'clock. Hopefully it won't get delayed too much. Otherwise, it might go to the center runway. Wouldn't that be something? Let's update the METAR. Once again, back to normal conditions. 8 kilometers of visibility, no significant clouds. 3 degrees C, 6 knots of wind, no significant changes. It's a bit hazy, but that's it. Otherwise, it would have been KVK. Lovely conditions. ETA now 12:29. Thanks for the update, Maria. We're going to stick around for the landings until the A380 has landed, regardless. So, should be good. Should be coming to the Polderbaan still. Unless we're going to see areas of fog drifting in from the sea or something, but that seems very unlikely. Mascargo, the next airplane coming in, arriving from Doha, just about visible over there, an A330-200. 7 hours and 55 minutes ago, it left from Doha. This is the 9MMUB, not the Mwahaha, but the Mwab. The airplane that we are now seeing is 13 years old. First flight of this airplane was in October of the year 2011. There you go. Tessanara says Garuda Indonesia is about to land. Indeed. Garuda Indonesia in the retro livery also coming. So it's a beautiful stream with quad squad, the entire quad squad. Garuda Indonesia, Corendon, Sunspots. Stream has it all. And here I was thinking about quitting early this morning during the dense fog. There you go. You never know what the day is going to progress like. Luckily, there were hints that the mist wasn't going to endure very long because the blue sky was visible pretty rapidly already. And it started to become quite light really quickly as well, luckily. Nice double chin mass cargo. Sadly, an idle reverse landing, as so many have been today. Arjit now says that it's over there sunny all of a sudden as well. Yeah, there you go. Cloudy the one moment, sunny the other. A quad squad member is coming. Garuda Indonesia is now number 2 on the glide slope to the Polderbaan. Which airplane is this? Lufty 747 question mark? Nah. Where is it? Yeah, no, definitely is 747. Wing shape, telltale sign. But it looks flattened when you see it from the front, so when you call it too soon, it still might look a little bit like an A340 or A380. Iceland Air Flight 500 up next. Paul has to go shopping for leftovers. Well, you do that, mate. Thanks for dropping by. Gert says Frankfurt to LAX 747. Thanks for looking that up, Gert, and sharing it. This is Iceland Air Flight 500. It's a MAX 8737. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Let's look back to the glide slope. Garuda Indonesia. It will become apparent pretty quickly. This is Garuda Indonesia Flight 88. We are waiting to emerge from the nebulosity. 777-300 arriving from Jakarta. And the flight time, ladies and gentlemen, of the airplane we are going to see in a few moments. Here it is, flight time 15 hours and 21 minutes. That's quite significant. 15 hours and 21 minutes underway from Jakarta to Amsterdam. The airplane is 10 years old. It is in a retro livery. I love this airplane. I think it looks very nice with the stripe continuing to the cockpit windows. It's like it's wearing a very thin pair of sunglasses. Garuda Indonesia Flight 88. And somewhere next to me a bird controller is setting off fireworks. Alright, that's behind me, a little bit towards the fire station. I'm not going to show you because I am not going to miss out on the landing. The firefight, the bird controller is setting off some fireworks in the vicinity of the fire station. Garuda Indonesia, retro livery. 15 and almost half an hour of flight. I think it's a beautiful machine in all its simplicity. Arjit says my laptop is vibrating because of the sound. Fantastic. Now the bird controller setting off the fireworks. The culprit of what those bangs you're hearing is over there. Indeed, Adrian, if you still want to set off fireworks, you can do that at the polderaan. Nobody is going to notice. Now 2 narrowbodies are coming to the polderaan. First being KLM flight 1136, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. In the meantime, a warm welcome to all who have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. Flocks of birds here in the vicinity. Things are still a bit hazy, but they're nothing compared with the first hour of the stream. If you haven't seen, have a look. It was amazing, but not in a good way. Very surprising. I woke up with blue skies this morning. As I was preparing to set out, things got grey and it started to get nebulous and foggy. That worsened until the first hour of the stream when it peaked. There were 3 go-arounds when I was setting up. I didn't see them, I was only able to hear them. Check back the first hour of the stream and you can see what we were dealing with here in the beginning. Now, quickly the sun burnt away the fog. In the process, making the fog just the right density for us to be able to see sunspots on the surface of the sun. Also very lovely to see. A little bit of astrophotography in the meantime. Now luckily things have normalized once again. Today's show features the entire quad squad. That's all the quad-engined airplanes that frequent Schiphol Airport, arriving in one stream. We began with the A340-600 from Suriname. It landed around 10:30 or so. Shortly after that, 2 747s also landed. We're now waiting for the Emirates A380, which is expected in an hour or so from now. Between now and then, also Corendon will be arriving. The Corendon A350 arriving from Bonaire. On board, our moderator Maria's son, who is returning from a vacation in Bonaire. So even though the stream began very disappointingly in terms of the weather, I can already say it turned out to be a great stream after all. Stick around if you don't have to be anywhere. We're sticking around until the Emirates A380 has landed. So at least for another hour we will be live, and if more heavies are coming immediately after the A380, obviously I'm going to stick around for that as well. For now, this is a German Airways Embraer 190 flying on behalf of KLM, and it is returning from England, from Aberdeen. No, that's not England. And this is the airplane that we used to know as Chucky, the DAPRI. So we have German Airways returning from Scotland, flying on behalf of KLM. How about that for European integration? Next up, KLM flight 706 arriving from Rio de Janeiro. That's a 777-200ER. Also a massive big thank you to Jules C, who says van de stroom houden, love the stream. Thank you so much, Jules, for your super chat and your kind words. I'm assuming you used Google Translate to make the message in Dutch. If you want to say I love the stream in Dutch, it would be ik hou van de stroom. The stream. Stroom is a literal translation. It's what we say that rivers do. Stroom is electricity, current. In Dutch we would also say stream. We loan a lot of words from English. No, we borrow them. We're not loaning them, we're borrowing them. Receiving. So the proper Dutch for I love the stream would be ik hou van de stream. I love the stream. Adriaan giving us a heads up that in 4 minutes in the meantime from now we're going to hear alarms in the Netherlands on the first Monday of the month, 12 o'clock. The air alarms are always tested. You'll hear it soon enough. TUI 737 flying out. Next up is going to be KLM flight 1710, arrival from Luxembourg. There it is already. Embraer 175, 41 minutes underway. The PHEXM, 7 years old, first flight February 2017, and the Corendon A350 is now flying over London. So that's expected in half an hour or so from now. Less probably. Alrighty. Let's see what else is coming. Narrow bodies, narrow bodies, narrow bodies. Embraer 175 from Aalborg. Ryanair once again coming in from Dublin. Might get loud, that one. For the remainder, all I'm seeing in Dutch airspace at the moment are narrow bodies. So we have to wade through a lot of narrow bodies before we're going to see the wide bodies again. Wide bodies are in the sky more abundantly. There is another quad squad member now flying very near to the sun, but it is approaching on its way from either Frankfurt or Munich. The heat waves have also returned, leading you to believe at home that it is actually warm over here, when in actuality it is only a few degrees above zero. My camera, I've noticed, is very sensitive to pick up heat waves, leading to the false impression that it's warmer than it actually is. Majority of the Gulf of AMS Live is still frozen. Here's the quad squad contrail. Is that an A340? I think it might be. Lufthansa A340. The camera is approaching, or at least the tripod is approaching the zenith. It's going to lock out pretty soon. Or is it? Is it just going to pass? Yeah, it's going to pass just south of the zenith. Quite clearly visible. It's an A340. I think it is Lufti in the old livery, but I don't know. It's hard for me to see to make out if it is a 600 or 400 or 300. There you go, it's 12 o'clock. Now I need to look at the clock. You can hear what time it is. Right, the Netherlands is under attack. Time to wrap up the stream. Thanks for watching. See you later. Need to find me a bunker. Stat. Yeah, air alarm in stereo. You can hear it from left, right, and center. It's coming from everywhere. Jump in the canal. For fuck's sake, the ice. I cannot get into the water. Can only traverse it. Walk over the water. Just like Jesus. Right, it's the end of times. It's time to put Amos Live on black. Nah, that's just the sunscreen. Indeed, Barry, flood warning alarm. Panthorn says that the A340 was a 600. Excellent, thanks for chiming in, guys. Alrighty, well, we've survived the nuclear attack. AMS Live is still alive and kicking. Welcome back. This is Ryanair Flight 3006 arriving from Dublin in Ireland. The previous 737 from Ryanair used the reversers. Turned out to be a loud landing. Fingers crossed we're going to hear the same. This airplane is 20 years old. First flight December 2004. Nope. Actually, looks like it was using its brakes most of the time. Mostly. Now. Adrian says we're almost at 500 likes. If you have been enjoying the stream and you haven't already, consider leaving an additional like. It really helps to promote the channel to people like yourselves who are into streams such as these but who haven't come across the channel yet. The YouTube universe is very big and Amos Live only has been discovered by a small portion of it. Your like really helps to get this channel under the attention of others who would also be interested in streams such as these. Make this already awesome community even greater. I think we have another quad squad contrail coming in. We're seeing so many more quad squads in the sky passing overhead than on the ground. I'm truly jealous of people who can spot from Frankfurt or London on a regular basis. So much more traffic to see. Is this also an A340 600? It does look like an A340. The wings looking like an A340, but like I said before, when seen from the front, the wing shape seems flatter. As the airplane comes closer by, you can actually see the angle of the wings versus the fuselage It is definitely indicative of an A340. A340 300 in the Star Alliance livery from Frankfurt to Vancouver. There you go. While it is approaching the zenith, an E2 Embraer 195 over here is approaching the Polderbaan. It's one after the other Embraers, and all the heavy hitters, all the quad squads are passing overhead. Think I should be able to catch the Lufty once again pretty soon. This is the highest my camera can go. From here on it is going to get lower. And with the sun behind us, you can beautifully see more contrast. So much more detail is visible. You really need to have the sun behind you to see the best detail in those quad squad members flying overhead. And if that's not enough, I think there's another coming. There's an exodus of quad-engined airplanes from Germany to the United States. They're all coming. Hey there, T-Mac. Good to see you again, and welcome all others who have joined us. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing here at the Polderbaan, where at the moment not a lot is happening. All Embraers coming in, but the interesting stuff is happening overhead. A lot of quad squad members are passing. The entire quad squad visiting today at Schiphol Airport as well. The A340 600 already landed. 2 747s have as well. The A380 is expected within the hour, if all is well. This is KLM flight 984 arriving from London City. It's an Embraer 190. Slowly but surely approaching the threshold of the runway. If you joined us only just now and you think it looks hazy, have a look at the first hour of the stream. See what we came from. Day and night difference. What's odd is that this morning began with blue skies and then it became foggy and densely misty. Luckily the sun burned everything away, at least for the most part. And it was all in time for us to see the entire quad squad, thus far at least, coming to the Polderbaan. So very lucky in that respect. Now another quad squad in the sky. Another Lufty A340 by the looks of it. Flipping awesome to see. I'm waiting until it has passed the zenith. With the sun behind us, we should be able to see more details in it. Corendon now over the Gulf of Yorkshire, coming this way. The airplane is passing a little bit south of me. It's one after the other in the sky. The A380 is the only quad squad member we're still waiting for. Expected within the hour. Next up is KLM flight 1775 arriving from Berlin. E2 Embraer 195. Still no messages from the first officer for us. No sunscreen on this one. Current status quo. The sun is still out. This is looking to the south. This is looking to the west. This is now looking to the east. This is looking back to the north. Vaguely visible. Another Embraer 175 arriving from Bergen. When is the first heavy hitter coming? It's a continuous slew of narrow bodies back to back. I'm wondering when is the first wide body we are going to see. Is it going to be the A350 or are there others en route that we are going to see a bit earlier? Now, even though it is nowhere near as bad as it was yesterday when it was a lot cooler to the touch out there than it is today, I still get a sometimes runny nose when the air temperature is not in the 20°C vicinity. Should be okay again. KLM flight 1164 arriving from Bergen, Embraer 175, and we have Hans' favorite from Vueling next after that. Arriving from Barcelona, an A320. I think the Vueling that we saw, or at least heard land here on Polderbaan earlier in the morning, was the hybrid livery, where the front is Vueling and the rear was from Level still. So no dots on that one. Marissa says that there's a KLM 777 slightly ahead of the A350. And that's the first heavy for us. Hey, Fritz also back in the chat. Nobody's perfect, also back in the chat. Welcome guys. Welcome one and all. You're watching Amos Live. My name is Boy. Quad Squad Day. The A340 already landed, 2 747s have already landed, and we're waiting for the Emirates A380, which is expected within the hour. They're all expected for Polderbaan today, although it came close to a different outcome. If you only joined us just now, have a look and rewind to the beginning of the stream. The first hour or so was terrible. Visibility was really poor. Even though the day started with blue skies, quite rare that this happened. Luckily the sun burned all the fog away, or at least the vast majority of it. Here we have Vueling flight 8309 arriving from Barcelona. The airplane is 11 years old, its first flight was in March 2013. Margie, greetings back. Martijn, goedemiddag. Now, this is a Vueling in the quote-unquote Vueling standard livery. Spot the dot. We are going to do then. There it is. Still beautifully and very clearly visible in the tail. Alright, looking up. No contrails in the immediate vicinity. Well, just one, but that's a twin-engined airplane. Next is A-Jet, arriving from Istanbul. That's a 737-800, 24 years old, first flight April 2000. More 737s. Well, at least one more behind it. Oh. Was also checking the chat. Roy indicating Air China Cargo 777 inbound. That is nice. That might get loud. Now also a massive big thank you to Ilko, who has returned today. Welcome back, good to see you again, mate. And he is celebrating 3 months of membership. Always a pleasure to watch the stream, Ilko says. Ilko, thank you so much for your ongoing support. Hope that you are going to like it in the lounge for many more months to come. Do let me know if something is missing in the lounge or if we're running low on certain supplies, and I will see what I can do to fix it then. Thank you so much for your continued support, Ilko. And here's to many more months to come. If not as a member, then hopefully at least as a regular frequent visitor. Now folks, we're waiting for heavy hitters to come and our patience is being tested. Luckily we can find some distraction in contrails. This is KLM flight 1216, another 737 coming in. Bird control was standing there with the lights on in the background. Interesting to see what is going on over there. Where did I see it? There it is. Now to me it looks like it is on the runway. Or is it really next to it? I think it is really next to it. Next up, KLM flight 972, an Embraer 190 arrival from Humberside, and after that, 2 more Embraer 190s. It's 3 consecutive Embraer 190s, one from Humberside, the other from Brussels, the other from Stuttgart. And we're going to see a fourth consecutive Embraer 190 arriving from Teesside or Darlington. That's flying base. Cornet asks if I can see the Beluga to the east. Where is it flying? I do see a contrail over there. I'm not sure if it is a Beluga. I think it's too far away to get any details out. I'm not sure what airplane that is. If it was the Beluga, then it would be too far to discern any details, unfortunately. Message for us? No, sadly not. Maria says, I don't know if we are going to see a light, unknown which side her son is seated. And the Beluga is flying over IJssel. We should be able to see it. It might be that the contrail that I showed you just now is the Beluga. We are able to see very far away if the weather is clear. It's just that we are not going to see a lot of details. You might see the contrail, but you may not see the details of the airplane creating the contrail. My camera, in that sense, has its limitations. Right, Embraer, after Embraer, after Embraer, after Embraer. Now if one of them would be flown by Captain Wheelie, at least we would be in for a little treat. I'm still not sure if Captain Wheelie made promotion to the A330 division. That one wheelie yesterday certainly made it look like Captain Wheelie might have made a promotion. Emirates 777-300 flying north of us from west to east. Destination undoubtedly Dubai. Origin Manchester question mark. Wolfgang says we need JD with the 600mm lens. Well, the optical zoom of my camera is the equivalent of 600mm full frame, but still. But look, the Emirates 777 from Boston to Dubai. Okay, Boston. Yeah, there you go. It was either the north of England or Ireland or Scotland or somewhere over the pond. More Embraer 190s. We are going to see a little change pretty soon. Transavia is coming in with an A321neo. To break the Embraer monotony a little. This is the Herpa Derpa Derpa. Going viral with herpes for 75 years. Miniatuurmodellen. Hadi Monique, goedemiddag. Malky, good afternoon. Daniel, good afternoon. Welcome one and all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. And we have a monotonous slew of Embraer 190s for a little longer. However, after this airplane has landed, and this is Britty Hopper flying on behalf of KLM, Flight 964. Arriving from Teesside or Darlington. After this, it is going to be a Transavia arriving from Tirana, and that's one of their A321neos. Squeaky brakes and an Embraer. What do you know? Marissa is doing some math. Says since 1949, that's not 70 years, so even the Herpa Derpa Derpa is more outdated than the KLM 100 years. Hey Infinity, good to see you again, mate. Welcome back. Now, if you're only joining us just now and you think, hey, it looks hazy, look back and have a look at the first hour of the stream. Things were densely fogged in the beginning of the show. Luckily things have cleared a little bit. The sun is out. We have seen the A340-600 land on Polderbaan. We have seen Saudia, and we also saw Cargolux land on Polderbaan. We're waiting for the Emirates A380. It is expected within an hour, but towards 1 o'clock local time. And in the meantime, we are also going to see Corendon returning from Bonaire with on board Maria's son. They're all expected to land here on the Polderbaan. So if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around, because we are going to catch them all. Transavia A321neo arriving from Tirana in Albania. The PHYHY, which is the second of the rentals. The last letter indicating if it is one of Transavia's own or if it is a rental. If the last letter of the registration is one of the last letters of the alphabet, it's a rental. If it's one of the first letters, then it is one of the own fleet, of their own fleet, I should say. Right. Russell has stepped up to his throne and is overlooking everything over here. Today's bird controller is a bit of a pyromaniac, once again setting off fireworks. And Roy says, I am excited about the Transavia retro livery on their upcoming A321. I am too. I saw the picture of what it is going to look like and it looked amazing. Hoping that KLM is going to follow suit and is also going to don some of their fleet in retro livery. We saw it before earlier in the stream. Garuda Indonesia arriving in the retro livery. We saw Tarom in a retro livery. Both looking amazing. Bring back retro liveries for all airplanes, I would say. In Dutch we say, vroeger was alles beter, which translates to, in the past everything was better. That certainly applies for a lot of the airplane liveries. First heavy now, number 5 for arrival. Thanks for the update, Marissa. Finally. Well, looking up in the sky, here and there are contrails. None of them are in the very vicinity of us. The ones that are approaching, like this one, is a twin engine. The one that just now passed also is twin engined. So for the time being, let's focus on the things coming into the Polderbaan. Indulge ourselves in more Embraer 190s. This is KLM flight 9948. Is that a relocation flight? The flight number seems to indicate it is. It's returning from Stuttgart. PHEZO is its registration. The airplane is 14 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in March 2010. Goedemiddag, old growler. Shuni S says, who remembered the morning? Yeah, well, if you joined us only just now and you want to see what Shuni is referring to, have a look at the first hour of the stream. That's what we had to deal with. We woke up over here in the vicinity of Schiphol with blue skies, and then things started to become gray really bad, really quickly. Luckily the sun also burned everything away really quickly as well. And what a show it has been since. We've seen the A340-600 on the Polderbaan. We've seen two 747s on the Polderbaan. We've seen Garuda Indonesia in the retro livery here at the Polderbaan. We've seen Tarom in the retro livery here at the Polderbaan. We are going to see the Emirates A380 here on the Polderbaan. And before that we are going to see the return of Maria's son on board Corendon A350, which is also approaching. First up, EasyJet A320 Neo arriving from Krakow in Poland. Brand new airplane. First flight April 2024. Right. Louis. It says so on the tin. Louis is coming. Oh, wee Louis. Jesus. Well, that's its sibling. Not coming to the Netherlands today, because the Netherlands is a godforsaken place. Jeff also back. Good to see you, mate. What's this? It's a 2 airplane glide slope shot, and that number 2 seems to be a wide-bodied airplane. What? It is KLM flight 792 arriving from Sao Paulo in Brazil. 777-300. The PHB VR. An 8-year-old airplane. First flight May 2016. In the foreground, an Embraer 175 arriving from Cardiff. KLM flight 1088. First flight September 2016, making the airplane 8 years old. Nice to have you back, Jeff. If you want to see what we have been dealing with earlier in the morning, rewind to the first hour of the stream. Severe mist storm. Now, there were 3 go-arounds back when I was setting up this morning to go live, and I never saw them, I only heard them. We woke up with blue skies here in the area of the Schiphol Airport. Then things quickly got grey and less visible. Luckily things have normalized again. KLM flight 792 up next. It's the first wide body in a while. 777-300 arriving from Sao Paulo. The airplane is 8 years old. First flight was in May 2016. Lyric Stone asks, how do you see that it's a relocation flight based on the flight number? Well, it was 99 something something, KL 99 something something. Now, normally the flight numbers are 3 digits, or if they're 4 digits, it's almost always a 1. So whenever a flight number starts with 99 for KLM, I know it's not a regular flight. Now, I don't know for sure if it was a relocation flight, but the flight number was a hint to me that it might be. Shamrock is coming in next. Hey, Lisa also back in the chat. Mist storm. Yeah, this morning. Luckily, no longer. Now it's just a regular sunstorm. It's always stormy here at the Netherlands, in the Netherlands. Mercer says, Saudia still confirmed for Polderbaan, just entered Dutch airspace. That is tremendously good news. Means we are at least going to see 1 wide body arriving from the east, landing here. Aer Lingus, flight 604, Shamrock, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. 1 hour and 9 minutes underway, 19 years old. It's the Ideo. There's your god, Deo. The deity is coming from Ireland. The airplane is 19 years old, first flight June 2005. And after that, Corendon, flight 5997, arriving from Bonaire. On board, Maria's son. I can see the airplane already. Aer Lingus has landed, so let's focus on the airplane of interest. Here it is, Corendon, World to Fly, flight 5997, arriving from Bonaire. A350-900, 8 hours and 31 minutes on the way. It's the ECNTB. The airplane is 2 years old, first flight April 2022. In the meantime, you can hear Aer Lingus passing by. Gives me a quick moment to welcome Alex Lightfoot. Thank you for once again choosing AMS Live, the Aurora Sky Lounge, as your place to hang out. Welcome back, mate. We've kept your seat warm. Now, Clark to the Flyer, good to see you again. I'm also hearing, no, there is a 747 passing by left of me right now. That is Suparna. What an unfortunate timing. Well, Maria, your son has returned safely. Here he is. Now, will he be seated on the right-hand side? Will he shine the light? Maria doesn't know herself. We can do at least an inspection of all the windows. I'm unable to see anybody shining the light, unfortunately. But we can say for sure that your son has returned safely back to the Netherlands. And in the meantime, man, what an unfortunate timing. Where is it? Where did it go? Come on. Come on. Alright, there it is. Suparna Airlines en route to China. Right. Now, folks, stick around. The Emirates A380 is expected. Shouldn't be too long before it is coming. In the meantime, this next airplane might give you the cramps if you are gluten intolerant. It is arriving from Celiac City, EasyJet flight 22515. It's an A320neo, and if you listen carefully, the heartbeat of the pipes have returned. The pipes are no longer dead, but back alive. Hey, good news, Marissa. A380 confirmed for the Polderbaan. It's always nice to get confirmation. Maria now able to sleep without worries. Are you also already going to bed then? The A380 is in Dutch airspace and has been assigned to the Polderbaan. But if you have to go, you have to go, obviously. G's up has arrived. It's back to Embraers for the time being, with an Embraer 190 next to land here. KLM flight 1020 arriving from Leeds, 51 minutes on the way. The PHEZA Visa. I'll use my Visa card. The airplane is 16 years old, first flight October 2008. Clemencia will be back in a minute, has to get a sandwich. Bon appetit. Now for here, we're waiting for the A380, which is about 20 minutes out, thanks Xbox drummer. Meanwhile, it's back to the Embraers. And I'm still calling out to all first officers frequenting Schiphol Airport. Use your sunscreen and place a little paper with a message for our viewers behind it. Right here where we can see. If you use a Sharpie, we should be able to read it. While we're waiting for the A380, entertainment is also coming from higher up. Has been all morning. This looks like Lufti in the old livery. Unfortunately, my hands are the other way around. I'm following with the right hand to the left. That's not a good move. Pulling is much smoother. So let's not follow it too long. Shani is informing us that Air China cargo is also coming in. Absolutely beautiful. Air China hopefully will get loud. Only a handful of airplanes did get loud today. One of them Ryanair. The first, not the last that arrived. Now here at Schiphol there's always a lot to see. And this one is arriving from Warsaw. And look at the landing. Very, very polished. It is an Embraer 195, not an E2 Embraer 195. The airplane is 15 years old and is hailing from the year 2010. The month not specified on flight radar, even though I have a paid subscription. I want my money back. Thomas, goedemiddag. Lauwe, goedemiddag. Laura asks if I am in a cabin next to the runway because that's the way it sounds. No, I'm standing here in the open. I do use a microphone for the voiceover that I have attached very close to my mouth. Makes for good audio, and I also have my cap on so you can hear, but this is a little microphone that's always at a fixed distance of my mouth. Makes for good voiceover quality. At least I think. I'm happy with the current configuration. I also have a separate ambient microphone in a blimp so that you don't hear any wind, although there's no wind to hear today. But even on stormy days you should only hear the rustling of the reeds and not so much the wind rumble. Now we've seen plenty of Lufties in the sky passing overhead, and now we see one landing here on Schiphol Airport. Very spacious compartment for mothers-in-laws. Ample leg room even for tall Dutch women, who are among the tallest in the world. Lufti flight 2304 returning from Munich. Hey Brody! Brody made it. Good to see you, mate. It's been a while. I think it's the first time I'm seeing you again in the new year. Happy New Year, buddy. Outbound traffic. German Airways. Flying on behalf of KLM. Next up, Air China Cargo. And this is an A330-200. It's an airplane type in combination with this carrier that you don't see very often. We saw one leave overhead the other day. I think it was yesterday. This one is returning from China, Chengdu. 17 years old, this one. First flight October 2007. Now, if there's one airplane that has a very good high potential to get loud, it is the A330. If there are airplane types that usually use reversers, it is cargo airplanes. If there are carriers that use the reversers more often than not, it is foreign carriers, so fingers crossed. Yes. Oh. For a moment I thought I saw a vortex. For a moment I thought I saw a vortex. Hey, thank you so much, Brody. Now, Beautiful landing. The A380 expected in 10 minutes. Thank you for the information, Lucas. And welcome Lyric Stone, who has become our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. Thank you for choosing the lounge. I hope it will be to your liking over there. The custom emojis you now have access to. Use them whenever you see fit. Spamming is not allowed, but you are allowed to use custom emojis as much as you like. Welcome Lyric Stone, and thank you for choosing AMS Live. And let's see, there is a twin jet. It looks like a big twin jet coming from west to east. This is Air France Air Baguette, flight 1640, an A321 arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle. 15 years old, first flight February 2009. Now, I'm curious to see what it is. It's producing a fat contrail, so I'm thinking it's a nice wide body. It's flying relatively close by, just a little bit north of me. There you go. Is that an A350? Sure looks like an A350. Or is it an A330 Neo? I think I see curved winglets. The nose, if I had to guess, I would say it's an A350. Although I don't know which carrier. 777? What? Alright, I'm done. 2 years and 2 months I've been live streaming on a weekly basis several times a week, and I'm still missing. There you go. I know nothing without flight radar. Damn. Right, well, this looks like an Embraer, but let me double check on flight radar. Yeah, this is the SkyTeam Embraer 190, flight 1800, arriving from Düsseldorf. 100 nautical miles. The airplane 12 years old. First flight was in April 2012. There you go. Yes. First officer throwing us waves, a little back and forth. And Russell once again over here, overlooking everything. Donna indicating to us that the A380 is 8 minutes out. Hadi Mats, goedemiddag, and welcome all others who have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and we're awaiting the Emirates A380. Has been assigned to the Polderbaan, as have the A340-600 and 2 747s that together form the entire quad squad of Schiphol Airport. Now sadly, one got away. If you joined us only just now and you think the sun was out all morning, you are so wrong. Have a look at the first hour of the stream. You can see what was going on. Singapore Airlines Cargo 747, unfortunately, because of the low visibility, got redirected to the center runway, and that's the one that got away today. Garuda Indonesia didn't get away. It landed in the retro livery here on Polderbaan, as did Tarom in a retro 737. The Emirates A380 is expected in a couple of minutes from now. If you've been enjoying the stream so far and you haven't already, consider leaving a like. It really helps to promote this channel and its content to people like yourselves who are into streams such as these, but who haven't come across the channel yet. YouTube is a very big platform, and AMS Live has only begun to scratch the surface of its audience. Your like really helps to promote this channel's content to more awesome people like yourselves who are into streams such as these, who together form a great community, which is AMS Live. Sky Express is next. A321neo arriving from Athens. 6 years old. First flight April 2018. Right. Hailing from Greece, which is bliss. Just like ignorance. Brody has to go. Catch you on the next one, he says. Mate, are you sure you need to leave right now? Because the Emirates A380 is expected in minutes from now. There's a 777 as number 3 on the glide slope, arriving from Guayaquil. And being preceded by an already visible Saudia flight 215 arriving from Jeddah. Saudia in the standard livery, the old standard livery, unfortunately not the updated one with white and green. Still the beige. Emirates is turning in. Emirates is turning in. The nebulosity makes it hard for me to see, if not impossible. I'm not sure that we are able to see it so far away. Now, we are going to see the landing of BA. There we go. Not much to write home about. 3 wide bodies next. On paper, I think the Emirates should be visible somewhere. Let me crouch behind the laptop. Can I see it? I'm already struggling to see the number 2, let alone the Emirates A380. On paper, it should be somewhere out there, but I'm not seeing it. I do see that Ilko went ahead and just now gifted 5 memberships. Ilko, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, but you did it anyway. Thank you for your generosity. Welcome new Aurora Skylounge members. The custom emojis are now at your disposal for a month. Use them whenever you see fit, however you see fit. Don't forget to say thank you to Ilko for your gifted membership. If you like being a member, consider renewing it or maybe gifting another person another gifted membership. This is Saudia flight 215 arriving from Jeddah. Return of the Jeddah Knights from Saudi Arabia. 7-year-old airplane, first flight March 2017. Spoilers go up and the wings go down. Bada bing, bada boom. Harry isn't impressed. Harry the Heron. Harry the Heron and Sheryl Crow singing That Don't Impress Me Much. Oh wait, no, that was from Shania Twain. Never mind. In the meantime, the Emirates A380 has become visible, being preceded by a wide body, so we are going to see the touchdown of the wide body. Normally when a narrow body is preceding the A380, I'm going to skip the landing, but in this time around. It is a 777-200. KLM flight 755. It is returning from Ecuador. Flight time 10 hours and 43 minutes. The PHBQ, age 20 years old. First flight September 2004. Once again, you could see a glimpse of the shadow over the dike in the background. Alrighty. Emirates next after this. Not yet in the top 10 of Flight Radar. What? We have a lot of viewers. Can we get it in the top 10? Emirates flight 147 arriving from Dubai. Next to land here at Polderban. 7 hours and 5 minutes on the way. That's a bit longer than normally would have been the case. Normally the average flight time at this stage would have been around 6.5 hours. So must have had a little bit of headwind. If not, then at least a different route. The airplane is 9 years old. First flight March 2015. I guess other airplanes are in the top 10 today. No, wait, we have made it into the top 10 now. 328 people are following this airplane. Those are rookie numbers. We have almost 1,000 watching if my computer tells me the right number. Come on, we can do better. Now, this is going to be the last airplane for today. I'm going to wrap up after today's Emirates A380 has landed. The full quad squad in the end, returning to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, all landing on the Polderbaan. The A340 600, Saudia Queen, Cargolux Queen, and the Emirates A380. Bonus items, Sunspots, Garuda Indonesia in the retro livery, and Tarom 737 in the retro livery as well. And for Maria, her son, returning from Corendon, with Corendon from Bonaire. Now number 7 on Flight Radar, 400 people tracking this airplane. Now number 6, 436 people. Nice. Can we get it in the top 5? And let's look and listen to the landing of the Emirates A380. Yes, it's using the reversers, finally. Well, no, only briefly. For the second consecutive day, an idle reverse landing. So this was the last airplane of today's show. If you've enjoyed the stream, you have to already consider leaving a like so that more people can discover AMS Live. People like yourselves who are into live streams such as these. A massive big thank you for the turn up and sticking with me despite the difficult start this morning. I had a wonderful time in the end and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I have. A massive big thank you for all the support, for all the likes and all the people who became a member or who gifted memberships, for the super chats, the super stickers, PayPal donations and merch store purchases. Have a look in the merch store if you haven't seen the new AMS Ground Crew merch yet. Also a massive big thank you once again to all the moderators for keeping the chat friendly and accessible. If all is well, I should be out again on Thursday. We're expecting calm weather like today and yesterday for the upcoming week or 2 weeks. Seeing is believing, but the predictions look promising. So hope to see you again on a Thursday. For now I am going to say goodbye. Stay safe, be safe, go out, enjoy the sunshine, and see you later in the week. Bye for now, guys.